Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Refurbished Life. I'm Crystal. This dresser really had a lot of twists and turns. I went from plan A, B, C. Anyway, wound up being a huge difference in the end. I hope you guys like it. Like usual, start your pieces off by washing them down with a degreaser. A good one to use is TSP Alternative, but people use Mean Green or Crud Cutter. There's lots of good ones. Here I am building up the base inside the corners because I'm going to be putting metal corner plates in, which I screw legs into. I thought I'd better clean up my mess on the edge so you don't see the layers of wood. And next is scuff sanding and sanding down any of the wood filler you've put in. Now I'm measuring down where I want my detail to start and taping it off with a frog tape. In this area I'm going to be putting stripper down. Kwik Strip is my go-to, although I couldn't find my plastic wrap that I usually put over it so that it kind of actively works better in there. So the heat dried it up too quick and it didn't get off as much goop as I normally do. I wound up needing to go in with my carbine scraper. After going in with my mineral spirits and steel wool, I'm still getting off the residue with my mouse sander and also sanding the legs as well, and sanding down the wood filler for the middle knob hole on the drawers. If you don't have one of those drill hole grids, this is what I do. I measure down how far I want to go, and then I measure the center point, and then I find the center of this handle and then just place it where my middle line is, and then draw an intersecting line where the drill holes are going to be. The reason I have on the board here, because these edges are rounded, so it's harder to kind of like measure the depth you're going when it's a rounded corner. So you need something to make it flat up here to have the same start on all the tops to prevent error. So you put it on the flat surface here, then you can put your measuring stick down and you can get it right for every drawer. For this part, you're going to need a staple gun and wood glue. Put the wood glue down first and then punch the staples in. I messed up here and there where it didn't go in far enough, so I just have my putty knife on hand to flick it back out and keep going.
when you're doing this part, you need to try to get it as close to the edge as you can. I was using my corded staplers for a while, but it was having it go too far back. So I switched to this one because it's very close up to the edge there. And the glue is kind of making a bit of yellowing, but it's not going to matter because I'm going to do a color wash on this burlap. And I can touch it all up. But another thing it's good to do is, at first the glue won't like stick down completely, you know, so it might be like puckering up a little bit. So as it's about to dry, go in there with your putty knife and just press it. And do this once the glue is kind of like setting up, not totally dry, but sorry, a little bit before that. And then it will give like really nice flat. All right, so now that we've got that on, I'm gonna let it all dry, and then I'm gonna go in with a razor knife and cut all of the excess off. Okay, I've cut off all the excess, much tidier. I've sanded it 2 different times and it's still just super set in there. So I'll see how it does with the paint wash.
This is where I'm realizing that it is just not going to look good with that wood under there. So I had to opt for a solid color underneath as the base. So originally I thought that it would be cool to have the main part of the body be black, so I went and picked up some very matte based black paint. And for the first layer here, I mix it with a primer. That's why it's a bit gray. And then the next layer I go in with the straight black paint.
So look at all of this texture that my roller did. Normally I'd be like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to sand it immediately or switch the roller or something. But look at how smooth, like this one's down here, done drying, and like my middle section's halfway between, and then that's like fresh. It's crazy the difference. But if it's a paint that has a good reputation to level, like this one I bought, they were like specifically saying it's a good leveler. Just, it's one of those trust the process things. I'm gonna make a glaze now for over the white. I kind of want a warm creamy brown color, so I'm putting a few different things together. And then this glaze is a 4 to 8 part to 1 part paint.
I decided I wanted to put some more color into the burlap drawer fronts to kind of tie better into the streaked glaze look that we just did. And I wanted to show you the inner seam there, how much better it looks than when we started. Okay, here's where you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. I didn't like how contrasted it looked, which, I mean, of course you'd think, yeah, it's beige and black, but I tried to like pair them together.
Hey guys, so I went over the body with cruising wax to try to give it like a cool foggy effect, and maybe on some pieces this would be a good look, but it's still not tying into the top of the dresser. And I put the handles on, which I painted or spray painted champagne, and they also aren't looking very good, so I'm gonna go back, make the handles black, and then I'm gonna paint the body cream to tie into the top better, and I think that will make it a lot classier looking and more cohesive looking.
Bin shellac primer always needs a little sand down after your final coat, but it's super easy to do and really quick. If all you have on hand is latex or acrylic paint, you just get calcium carbonate and mix it in with a bit of water and it turns into chalk paint, which is what I did here.
So there are lots of different little bumpers that you can get. Some of them are flatter, rounder, bigger, smaller. But if you take one of them and you put it on the inner tab there, then you never have to worry about the paint getting chipped off on here after time when people slam them over and over and over again. That will save that from happening.
I might have changed my mind about the handles again, but these were so much better. Here's a quick look at before one more time, and here's after. I'm really glad that it turned out how it did. It took a little while, but you can just keep going until you're happy. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more flips and tips.